This is why people start storytime channels. I've done commissions for quite a long time, and I've had to work with a lot of different people. But to this day, this specific situation sticks out as one of the most unusual string of events that have ever happened to me. I was around 14 years old. And for added context, I wasn't the type of all-grown-up 14-year-old you'd find on Instagram acting like an influencer. I was the type of 14-year-old you'd find all alone playing with dolls in their room. I was in this fandom where pretty much everybody had a self-insert character, and everybody wanted art of their self-insert character. And communities like that are great if you're doing commissions. It's way easier to find work. Also, my commissions were embarrassingly cheap, but I'll save that story for another time. One day, I got a DM with a commission request, and for the sake of the story, I'll call the commissioner Miss Piggy. Not because she resembled Miss Piggy in any way, I just really like the Muppets and I felt like drawing Miss Piggy, so we're going with that. Miss Piggy didn't have a character reference, but she did provide links to a lot of images to help describe what the character is supposed to look like. The hair, the clothes, little details, and so on. Communicating with her was kind of tricky though. It was clear there was some kind of language barrier, and I also couldn't tell if she had this weird, almost entitled attitude, or if it was just unintentional and all in my head. She would also mention details that felt pretty random at the time, like that her fiancé is going to pay for everything. I don't know, maybe if I had a rich fiancé paying for my $3 commissions, I would also like to boast about it. But I'm just mentioning all these details for the story. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. I don't judge people for stuff like that at all. So I sat down, drew her commission, and she really liked it. She liked it so much that she asked for several more commissions. This time she had several links to references for the poses. Draw my character doing this, draw them in this pose, draw them together with my fiancé's character, just like it is here, just replace the other character with my own. Needless to say, I had my hands full and I was very excited to start working. Though, if I dared post any other art in between working on her commissions, Miss Piggy would immediately jump in my DMs and start asking, why am I posting random art? Why am I not working on her commissions? Shouldn't I be working on her commissions? Lady, you DM'd me like 2 hours ago. Have you seriously just been sitting here and furiously reloading this underpaid 14-year-old's page to see if they finished your drawings yet? She was becoming a bit stressful to work with, so I sat down, drew all of her requests in one sitting, posted them, and she was really happy with them. And you know, I was happy too. I think I did a good job with them. I had earned my $10 and I felt good. I thought that was the end of it. I thought. So I noticed I was tagged in someone's post. It was about art theft. Now why would I be tagged in a post about art theft? Well, you see, when Miss Piggy was giving me those references for what her character needs to look like, most of the things were pretty simple, straightforward, you'd see them on a lot of characters. But one reference was for a design, a pretty distinct design. I didn't really think much of it, I just put it on the character like I was told and posted. Well, it turns out that Miss Piggy took that design from someone else's character reference sheet, just cropped it out and gave it to me and like, yeah, I want this on my character now. And it just so happens that person was a follower of mine and saw all of my posts that included their design, and they were not happy about it. Now, this person thankfully recognized that the drawings were commissions and that the character actually belonged to Miss Piggy, but I was still so embarrassed to have my art in that post. In that context. Well, I guess that's just a really awkward situation. I don't know what happened there, but I can still remove the design from the drawings and they'll be just as good, right? Well, some weirder things came up. Shortly afterward, I got another DM, and this one was from Kermit, the fiancé? He was asking me to delete one of the commissions that I had done. It was the one that was based on another drawing with Kermit's character and some other character. He didn't explain the details, but apparently that drawing was very important to him, And the fact that Piggy literally just asked to redraw it and replace the other character with herself had really upset him. It had upset him so much that he said they broke up. They were engaged, and they broke up over something I drew? Like, I'm sure I was missing a ton of context. Maybe there were other issues in their relationship, but from my perspective, it looked like my drawing had severely impacted other people's lives in a rather negative way. I felt really, really weird about the whole situation. I had no idea what I had become a part of. But I have to commend Kermit for being very, very nice and polite about it. He said, "Yo, it's not your fault, you didn't know. I'm still going to pay you for all the work you did, and I hope you have a great day." That was very nice of him, because some people were not that nice. So the person who drew the original picture with Kermit's character came forward, and they were really not happy. And they were not happy with me, of all people. They came over to my public profile page that everybody could see with a very intimidating Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's icon and started demanding that I send them over half of what I earn on that commission because I based my drawing off of theirs, therefore profiting off of their hard work. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Their tone and icon legitimately intimidated me because I was just so scared that they were gonna run around and spread rumors about me copying people's work, profiting off of other artists, and then I'll eventually get kicked out of the fandom because of it. But as intimidating as they were, I wasn't going to send them those $5. You know, looking back now, their demand felt very unreasonable to me. I want to stress this wasn't a Butch Hartman copies random fan art for $200 moment. This was me referencing a pose like I was instructed to do, the same way I would reference a photo for a pose. Like, we all know that copying other artists' work without permission or credit is bad. You shouldn't do it. But then there are some situations that really depend on context and extent and malicious intent. Like, you can't run around saying, "Oh, your character is also a white rabbit? Well, so is mine. That means you copied me." Even if they did, does it matter? In my personal opinion, if it's a very simple pose that could have easily been described in one sentence without even seeing the picture, then it's not something that should be copyrighted. Even if you're studying someone else's drawing, it really depends on how much you actually take away from it. I didn't trace a thing on the reference image. I studied it and genuinely spent a lot of time making sure the pose looks organic and fitting to my style. I think I even made tiny changes to make it more distinct from the reference. Let me know your thoughts on the issue if you have any, because even if you disagree with this, there was a bigger reason why I couldn't send them the money. I didn't know how. I was a 14-year-old teenager selling shit for lemonade stand prices, and since I was underage and literally didn't own a credit card, I told people to send all my commission money to my dad's PayPal account, and then he would later give me the money or buy me something. I didn't even know how to log into his account and use it, and I loved my dad a lot. I really didn't want to get him involved in this. So what was I going to do? I couldn't really do what they were asking me, but I was way too timid to argue back, and I was way too embarrassed to explain why I can't send the money, so I did the only thing I knew how to do. "Oh, I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right about everything. I agree. I did you dirty. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I can't send you the money. I just can't. But maybe maybe you would accept some free art instead?" Fine. Draw my cat. So I drew their cat. They gave me a dry thank you, which was honestly more than I was hoping for. And that seemed to finally be the end of it. I didn't hear from anyone else involved in this ever again. A couple of years later, I checked on Miss Piggy's account where she had posted an apology for everything that had happened and said she moved to a new account to start all over again and try to be a better person. I hope she's doing well. I definitely hope Kermit's doing well, he seemed like a cool guy. And even though I'm still a little bit upset at Foxy for yelling at me when I was 14 and confused and scared, I hope they're doing well too. And earning royalties every time someone draws their copyrighted poses. Well, that's about it. That's the story. That's the story that has been keeping me up at nights. It was a lot to take in at 14, and to this day I still live with a strange sense of paranoia that something similar will happen again. I'll accept a commission, a super basic commission, finish it, not think nothing of it, and then suddenly a whole drama will erupt out of it, and I'll get called into question and blamed for something just because I was the artist that was hired. Like seriously, if someone is asked to draw a basic commission, they're not responsible for doing background checks on the customer and all the references. It's just not part of the job description. Unless they're super obvious and open about it, there is no way that I can be familiar with a commissioner's relationships, beliefs, political hot takes. I don't know any of that stuff. I just draw. Also, don't demand that they finish all your commissions immediately. A lot of artists work on many different projects at once. Just because they're working on something else doesn't mean they forgot about you. And lastly, if you feel like an artist took an element from your drawing and used it in their own, be reasonable about whether or not it truly fits the description of theft. And that's all. If you like the video, leave a comment, share it with an artist friend so you would spook them from ever trying to do commissions again. I'm not even kidding, I've been thinking about making a video like this for years, but I kept putting it off because I told myself that nobody would ever want to watch my videos. But if you're still here listening, then wow, you've proven me wrong. Until next time, goodbye and have a great night.